It's easy enough to define sanity in basic terms, being reasonable, showing sound judgment or sense. So, on one's own, one cannot know if one is sane or insane. You need a second opinion, and perhaps a third. I could sit in a room full of people and give a little political speech laying out my beliefs for the consideration of the audience. Maybe half the room will think that I'm a rational-minded individual with a firm grip on reality. The other half may be of the view that I'm batshit crazy, possibly a danger to myself and others. Yeah. Erich Seligman Fromm, German intellectual of the 20th century, associated with the dreaded Frankfurt School. He said back in 1955, "It is naively assumed that the fact that the majority of people share certain ideas or feelings proves the validity of these ideas and feelings. Nothing is further from the truth. The fact that millions of people share the same vices does not make these vices virtues. The fact that they share so many errors does not make the errors to be truths. And the fact that millions of people share the same form of mental pathology does not make these people sane." End quote. This guy also spoke of the pathology of normalcy. I like that phrase. I come back to it from time to time when I'm knocking about in my head thinking about how fucked up the world actually is. Legal definitions or terms dealing with sanity or insanity, compos mentis or non-compos mentis. Legal terms are not medical ones. Legally speaking, it isn't possible to prove sanity. And it's worth pointing out the legal concept of insanity shouldn't be confused with medically diagnosed mental illnesses. It's not my intention here to shit on the legal system or those who administer it or have a go at the medical profession. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing either of those things here. In theory, I see sanity as a fairly sound concept, but in reality, accounting for the complexities of the human brain, which I will not pretend to understand, and taking into consideration the chaos and confusion of human societies, it's problematic, it's troubling. Yeah. I saw a post online somewhere a while back, not YouTube, where someone inferred that some things regarded as insane had a biological basis because of evolutionary consequences, and they used mass murder as an example of insanity. So one might ask the question, is war insane? Organised mass killing to settle a dispute or a claim? I might state that war is morally indefensible and therefore unreasonable, unsound, not sensible, not sane. Philosophically, politically speaking, I do think war is an act of collective insanity, but I'm a liberal faggot, so I would think that, wouldn't I? Traditional, established mainstream culture informs us what is normal, what is acceptable, what is abnormal, deviant, crazy. The cultural concept sanity is not the legal concept. The legal concept is not the medical concept, which is not the political concept. And the political idea, or divide between sane and insane, won't necessarily match up with a wider philosophical notion or conception of what is sane. Maybe acting or behaving so-called sane is not the same as being sane. Can entire nations be nuttier than a deer turd without even knowing it? I don't know. Have a look at North Korea. What do you think? But maybe to a poor man living in Africa or Asia, growing up in a simple culture, agricultural, somewhere out in the countryside obviously, to this person, Western civilization, or a lot of it, Western people, might appear to be bonkers, unreasonable, deranged perhaps, out of their fucking trees. So there are various answers as to what sanity is, depending on what concept you're referring to. Yeah. That's me answering my own question. Have you ever questioned your own sanity is my parting question to my wonderful audience. On that note, I bid you all a fair and pleasant day. Ta-ta.